Yo, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Um, welcome, welcome. Uh, cool stuff happening tonight. Got one of my good buddies, good friends, Jessie Maitland. He's gonna be joining me soon. Um, in the meantime, what's up, everybody? Go ahead and drop out. Whoever's watching, where you from? Where you from? Pop that in the chat there for me. Uh, and then as I kind of finalize things here, so I can get Jesse. I'm still trying to get used to this software that I'm trying out. I think I might stick with it though. So this is kind of cool here. Let's see, Trevor, Buffalo, New York. Nice, man. George, Connecticut. Nice. Darren. Oh yeah, Darren, I remember you, my friend. How are you? Sydney, Australia. That's cool. Melbourne, Florida. Nice, Brock. Nice to see you. Daniel, Chattanooga. Oh, man. Israel. Hey, what's up? And Ontario. Sam from Ontario. Nice. Cool, guys. Well, thanks for hanging. Oh, look at this. Omaha, Nebraska. Caitlin. Caitlin. I don't know if I. Adrian from Riverside. What's up? Yeah. Uh, Josue, what's up, my buddy? Josue is actually killing it down there in Virginia. He's a former student of mine for the mentorship, and him and his team are just, oh man, it's beautiful what they're doing there. Ghana, Melvin from Ghana, Akara. How do you say that? I don't know how to say that. Well, cool guys. Part of tonight's hang is pretty much just chilling. I know there was some questions about. I posted a video, or not video, a photo of all the keyboards that I had, and somebody, uh, not somebody. I had, gosh, about 4 or 5 people asked me like, "What does each one do?" You know. So I was just gonna do a quick tour of my desk really quick, show you guys what's there and what how I use it and utilize it. Let me see something here, and then we'll bring Jesse in. But first, let's see here. Let's see if I can get this going. Some of this. Cool. Here we go. So can you accept the Google Drive link, or do you have everything set already? So tonight I might not get into, just because I want to get into it with Jesse. So I kind of brought you here on false pretenses. I'm sorry. Tonight I probably won't get into live breakdowns. That'll probably be either. I do have a crazy busy next 2 weeks, but I'm gonna try next week to stream again. And we'll do the live breakdowns then. But I'll basically I'll just throw it out on social media. Hey, we're doing live breakdowns. Then you guys can submit. I'll put up a link and you guys can submit to that. So real quick, just I know there was a couple of people that were asking me about my setup, and so I'm gonna transfer over to my audio. Might sound a little weird too because it's gonna be going to my iPhone. So let me see here. Where's that button? There we go. iPhone. Cool. Oh, let me just see if I can climb around here. All right, cool. So, desk. Things on the desk here. Got the trusty old Stream Deck. Just standard stuff for my Philips Hue lights to change my settings on there. Get a mouse, keyboard, and then on the loop deck. This is the one everybody was been trying to ask me about. So the loop deck, there's a strong, heavy learning curve to it. However, it's It's pretty good, I gotta say. One thing I have learned is to put this away whenever I'm doing this, because if I don't, I'm gonna end up using this more than I do this for now. But it's really cool. It's got touch screens and things that you can do. A wheel here when you're editing, you can jog and shuttle. Pretty much the same thing as the Blackmagic Speed Shuttle. So the Blackmagic Speed Shuttle though only works within DaVinci Resolve. So it's pretty cool. I just started using it yesterday, and it's been pretty cool. Got a NVMe drive here that I use as a solid state hard drive. But yeah, those are the way keyboards that I use. All right, let me come back here. Yeah, cool. So what's up, Jacob? Yeah, that's pretty much my setup that I have. It's pretty good. So going on to the loop deck really quick, I honestly wouldn't recommend it. It's cool, but I find myself, maybe just because I'm old school, when I'm editing, I actually find myself using it less than I would. There are certain things that I'll use it for when I have to shuttle, jog, things like that. It's nice to just have it right in my right hand. But a lot of times I'm still going to the computer for all that stuff. Cool. Let's do this. I'm going to, let's see, where is he? There he is. Okay, so Jessie is here, and I'm going to bring him on, and we're just going to chat. So, questions. If you guys have questions, please just put a Q in the comment. Put a Q next to your question in the comment, and then we'll go ahead and answer those questions as they come up. But without further ado, I want to introduce a good friend of mine. His name is Jessie Maitland, and he, Drake, and I are the ones that are pretty much responsible for making everybody go crazy with this whole cinematic broadcast. So, but Jessie was really one of the main driving forces on getting us to a spot where we could get to a spot where we could actually get to that part where we could actually worship first and capture second, because he always had this eye of looking at things in a certain way, in a different way. And when God called me here to Tulsa, I ended up saying, like, okay, Lord, well, who's the person that can take over at Bethel? Because gosh, everybody knows that Nathan wouldn't be it, because he just sucks. Nobody, I'm just kidding. If Nathan ever watches this, he's gonna kill me. But here, I'll bring Jessie Maitland in, and we can just have a chat. Let's see. This should work. Hey, yo, you there?
Hey,
I got you.
Double audio there, but not bad.
Yeah. What have you been up to, my friend?
Well, man, we just wrapped up a week of graduation. 3 graduations outside, live iMac with an LED wall,
Nice.
in the blazing sun, so I might look a little toasty.
Well, it's good. Yeah, it's at that time where it gets pretty hot there now.
Why did you put an I in my name?
Did I put an I in your name? Oh, I did. Look at that. I can fix it. Okay. Jeez. Gosh. Yeah, I do. There's a lot that I miss about being there. But I do not miss graduation.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember the last one I actually had to work, and yeah, that was a fun one. It was a fun one.
For those of you that don't know, at Bethel, the School of Ministry does graduations, and it's how many students did you guys have this? It's a little different this year because of COVID, right? But how many students did you guys have?
I mean, a lot.
A lot.
Hundreds.
Yeah, usually it's around what 13 to 1800 students. Sometimes I think the highest was close to almost 2,000 students. But oh, there's look at this. Look at this. Here we go. First question for Jessie. This is Carter. Artist Carter? Carter. He said, thanks, Chad. I'm Jessie. I'm trying to get on the stream as a volunteer. 3 years plus. See, he wants to volunteer for you, Jessie. You gotta get it. You gotta DM Jessie. DM Jessie.
Yeah. That's usually the best way to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes emails just get so with crazy stuff, so DMs are usually the fastest way to get a hold of us. But yeah, the graduations, you're literally shooting, it's 3 different years, but each year has about, well, first year especially has like 1,000 kids. So that's 1,000 names that they read. And when they read it, you're just, boom. And it's like one afternoon, Chad Vegas, Jessie Maitland, so-and-so, so-and-so. And so
I had to capture them in groups.
Yep.
Just cutting from, it was quite the rhythm. And also we added, the BSSMO. So this year was the online.
That's right, the online, yeah.
So there were some people graduating there, and we actually added them. It was really great. We just super sourced a Zoom call and highlighted them. So they showed up outside with a live audience on the LED
That's
wall,
cool.
which was really, really cool. Definitely added some pretty amazing production value, but people really raved about that whole experience of feeling like they were there, and it was really amazing. It was actually surprisingly satisfying to feel such feedback.
Right.
People
I
were
bet,
excited
yeah.
about how awesome it was. So that was really fun. I mean, we were understaffed, of course, and half our team is graduating, so they're all busy, and it was really amazing. So,
Dude, that's cool. I can imagine how interesting it must be when how was it, because now you're dealing with people from I just fixed that audio issue. Thanks, Joshua.
yes, you did.
But how interesting was it to see, like, because you guys have been streaming for COVID to the online, pretty much the online school a lot, right? So how interesting was it to see that when they, see all of them on there for their graduation and be like, hey, these are the people we actually stream to? Because a lot of times, we don't, we're in it and we can't see what's happening on the Zoom all the time. So you don't really get to see faces and all that stuff. And so that must have been pretty cool.
It was cool, and honestly, I was surprised that even with a year like this year, how many people I still recognized. I don't work in school every day, but you start to learn some faces, and I was pretty surprised at how many Zoom faces I saw and how many people I actually recognized in graduation.
Nice.
So I felt like that was like a good metric of success. Like, hey, we're still building community, even though it's been virtual, and every day is different.
Yeah.
It was still exciting. So
yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, man. Yeah, I was thinking about it this way. I was telling, what was I? I think I was telling Jeremy, our production director here. I was like, yeah, that's just not one thing I don't really miss, because it's just, and it's like it's consecutive, so it's like, are you guys still? Was it still two different graduation classes in the same day? I remember before they used to split it up. So, or because of COVID, was it just one class?
we did one class each day, but so I think we loaded in on Monday, and then we had 3 days of graduation, and then most of our BSSMO people that did graduate, the online people, they graduated with first year, the ones that could. So that was a very long day.
Yeah, dude, I bet. Dang. Oh man, that's cool. So what else have you been up to? I mean, I know I see you growing the team, which is really great. It's great to see that. I want to know. Okay, here we go. I want to know what what changes did you make when I left that you're like, this works better for me? Because I know obviously everybody has a different way of directing. Everybody has a different style. So um what changes did you were like, yeah, Chad did it this way, but I think we should probably do it this way because it matches me better. And it's totally cool. Like I'm not like
That's the
I'm
juicy question.
yeah.
I mean, I would want to ask that too. It's like you definitely want to know. It's funny. I honestly, my first goal was not to make unnecessary change. And I mean, obviously, I took over at a time where everything was changing every day.
That's true. Yeah.
And nothing was the normal. So, we were in the thick of a pandemic situation, and there wasn't anything that was the normal anymore. You know, and so I would say I don't know if anything has gone back to normal. To be honest, um, we do have more people in the audience now, as you can tell. So the in fact, I strategically did not want to share a whole lot of vision and like make changes until we just got past this milestone of this week.
Right. Yeah.
And just because we just didn't need unnecessary change, and I just wanted to have a nice clean slate to refocus and kind of get some clarity and build together.
Right. Yeah.
But as far as the fun things, like I'll probably be changing a few things on the inputs as far as camera ordering
Yeah. Yeah.
to optimize our cuts a little bit better. Um, I'll probably throw a couple cameras in the trash because I resurrected one of them, the broadcast one
Oh,
that we
nice.
didn't forever. Yeah, that came
Yeah.
back. Um, a lot of the automated streaming we were doing with lock-off cameras,
Yeah. Yeah.
I replaced those with pockets or a broadcast so I can be native 24 all the way through.
Nice.
And so Resi's working better and all that stuff is fluid. But if you notice, like this last week or two, we've really been playing a lot with camera placement in the
Yeah.
sanctuary.
Yeah.
And, we've dreamt about so many different things over the years. And, my goal was like, as we were making this transition to having an audience in the room again, I wanted to make sure that we were putting cameras in places where we can still continue the creative conversation, keep that drive of like, how to get more creative and get better shots. I didn't want to lose territory, like I wanted to keep the momentum and not pull back.
Nice. Nice.
So I hear that music.
Still
Nice
going,
little
huh?
vibe music.
Vibey. Nice and chill.
Yeah, I like it. One thing we did do too, we added the jib. No, we moved the jib. We added a pit cam on a gimbal. And then this last Sunday, kind of the Sunday before, but mostly this last Sunday, we really implemented a track in the back of the room to replace what was normally our camera 4 position or
Nice.
45. And
Yeah.
it's been really fun and amazing and
It has.
creative and stuff.
It looks
Yeah.
good. Like it was great because like that's something that I didn't even think about when I was there. I was like, oh my gosh, that 45 on a track? What? Oh, that looks so
Yeah.
good. Yeah. And even honestly, that
Yeah, it
pit
was
cam
pretty
too, I
cool.
love, especially because it's not on a track. What a great idea too, because it's not on a track and you have that room. I don't know if it changed. I haven't gotten to watch this past weekends, but I don't know if it changed when people are actually in there. Because you have that room when people weren't in there. So like those runs that your ops would do, just super nice. Like it was beautiful. And to be able to really match the tempo of the song too, because it's not a track that you have to slow down. Oh yeah, it looks so
Yeah.
good.
Oh yeah. When we were doing the send, I think Dan is actually on this call under a different name.
Nice.
Anyway, but he was running. Dan was running the gimbal, and I don't know if you saw, but he literally was running so quick he just fell over while running with that thing, and someone happened to film it and catch the whole thing. So it was pretty amazing.
Yes. Oh, that's funny. That's too funny.
And also, speaking of Dan, if you saw my Instagram, I think it's still up there right now. But during graduation, we had to swap batteries on stage. and so he snuck up there, but then he couldn't get off,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
I
so
saw
he
that. And
climbed
then
the
he
wall and then
climbed the
jumped
wall
over.
and
I thought
jumped
that was
over.
pretty great.
That was great. No, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've been loving some of that stuff, and it's like even things that like for here when we go back into our arena, like I really want to start to utilize more. Like I'm actually changing some of the things, like actually getting gimbals for some of it, because like yes, we're all about like, and even you can attest to this, like we definitely love shaky cam every once in a while, for the most part, right? But it's nice to get, sometimes you got to change it up. You don't always want to keep the same. Um, yeah. Let's see. Here's some. Let's see here. What? I'll ask you this too, because it's a lot of people ask me the same thing, but I think it'd be great to get your perspective of tell us what your whole why you wanted to be doing the cinematic broadcast style. When we all got together, even before that, you and Drake were already kind of like doing it a little bit for
Mhm.
certain Bethel music stuff. And then bringing it all in together with like, hey, let's, as a church wide, let's go into this. What was your reasoning for that? What was on your heart?
Yeah, actually, it's funny. I was just talking to Caleb. So we were doing a Bethel Music meeting today. We were planning some future projects, and yeah, that actually came up a little bit. But back, um, it was Nathan Grubbs, Luke Manwaring,
Mm-hmm.
and myself, who, and Drake actually was in there too. And we did a lot of the early Jesus culture stuff, and really like that was like for me that was like round one of something that was special. It was a worship movement where
Right.
we were growing in our craft. And if you know anything about Jesus culture and the music, it was really all about how do we bring people this encounter that changes everything, right? That was always like sort of the narrative, like what is it that is going to bring that transformational worship experience?
Right.
And it was
Right.
very like pinnacle, like there's a moment.
Yeah.
um, and it really was reflected. So the style really reflected and honored that whole idea, that culture, that was really the emphasis. And then when Bethel Music really started to take off, and we started doing more production, that really shaped our Sunday services and whatnot. And um, I think uh, I think probably the most catalytic moment for probably for myself, and probably for even Toby, and probably for Drake as well, was working with Stephen Lester, on a Jesus Culture film project
Yeah.
where we really wanted a extra lively event. And I can't remember the album name, but that he kind of gave us this permission of, hey, I want you to do the wildest and craziest things you've ever wanted to do, and basically removed all filters and all
Right.
restraints. And he just had a really great structure to it. And I think that leadership allowed us all to kind of explore these new avenues, or at least explore something at a new level where he was
Right.
pushing us
Yeah.
to go further. And I think that was something that we really walked away from that event going, wow, like this isn't just us capturing something. We're actually experiencing and a part of this worship experience, um, on a personal level. Like we were there, like we were a part of it. We're dancing, we're
Right.
moving, we're
Right. Yeah.
100% interactive. And
That's a good
I think
word
it
though.
just kind of
Interactive. I
it
think,
yeah,
yeah.
it just kind of took the lid off, man.
Interacting
It
with,
really unlocked.
yeah.
Mhm.
Interacting with the room. Yeah. No, that's cool.
Yeah, it was amazing. We joke about it too, because there was at one point where Steven on comms is just kind of like yelling at Toby saying, "I want you to literally jump up and down."
That's awesome.
So that was a really amazing moment for us. And I think we came back to we came back home looking at what we were doing, and we felt like we were in a good groove, but I think we were just ready for more,
Right.
and we
Yeah.
wanted that same
And that was the
excitement
thing
and
too.
passion.
Yeah. It wasn't necessarily that what was being done before was bad or anything. It was just like, okay, what's the next thing now? Like, we want more.
Mhm.
Like, we want to do more, and we want to showcase, even getting to like showcasing the band, showcasing the worship leaders more, even showcasing people worshiping more, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
You'll appreciate this. I reached out to Anthony West the other day.
nice.
Yeah, just because like I remember on Sunday with the track, that was we used to do some pretty creative shot positions long time ago.
Yeah.
And I just wanted, I think there was 3 times where I was like, man, this feels like an Anthony dream right here. Being, you know what I mean? Like this is a
Right.
dream
Yeah.
that Anthony
Totally.
had.
Being able to do
And I was
that.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, and I was like sitting here going, that was in his heart, and I thought that was really cool. So I reached out to him, and we'll be connecting soon and stuff. But
Nice. That's cool. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, Anthony West was my former boss. That's who I took over for. He was the broadcast director over at Bethel before that, before me. And amazing guy, one of like the top um, production guys for the BBC, ITV, and Sky TV, the UK. And he's one of the founders of Bethel TV, actually. So yeah, really cool guy. Let's see, we got some questions coming in. Again, yeah, if you guys want to ask questions, just put a Q next to the question, and that way it gets it easier for me to go through it here. Let's see. So,
hey, Dan
Weston,
made it on.
yeah. Do you train how to pull focus, or is that a requirement for all cam ops?
I mean, pull that focus, and if you fail, I'll break your finger.
Yeah, totally right. Now it's really, it depends. It's hard to kind of really answer this one. It depends because a lot of times, whoa, what look at me, I'm in 3D. That's weird. What happened here? That's just weird. That is just weird. Let's see, can I change this? What's that? Nope. I don't know what I did.
Well, Ecamm. How long you been using Ecamm?
Like a week. Oh, there you go. Yeah, like about a week and a half. It's pretty good. They've grown a lot since the last time I tried them.
Yeah, they have.
And I really what I was looking for was mostly the whole comment thing like this. I was like connected with Restream, so being able to do that has been nice.
Yeah, are you using the Restream chat stuff,
Yeah.
or are you just using it on Ecamm?
Restream chat through Ecamm, kind of.
Nice. So that's
Together,
beta.
yeah.
It's still
Yeah.
technically beta.
Yeah, so it's been pretty good. So
I literally just purchased.
Whoa. My boy, my son.
I just purchased the 1 year on Restream because I wanted a better deal. But
yeah, no, yeah, it's been good. I like Restream. So Weston.
Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh. So this is chill. This is production Hangz. I'm telling you, this is like, I'm not trying to do anything professional, or this is literally production Hangz right here. But
Get your bang. And...
yeah, bang energy. The Bethel beer. Oh, that's great. Pull focus. We try to get people that are already camera ops. Like it's easier to get. Yes, sometimes there's volunteers that come that don't know anything. Then you train them and stuff like that. But for the most part, we try as much as possible to get people on the team that actually have experience. So if they don't have experience, it's then a question of like, are they a good fit for the team? Like there's an interview process that we do. We just try to get to know them a little bit. Because sometimes, a lot of times, especially here, I'm finding out at transformation that sometimes there's volunteers that want to volunteer, but their heart is wanting to just be a part of it and not necessarily in production, but they see an opening in production. So trying to find that right fit for them, as well as us, is something that we do. So that's why for like training how to pull focus, um, it's all dependent on most of them that we do get are cinematic. Oh, I lost Jesse. Most of them are cinematic stuff. Are broadcast people that know cinematic style of broadcasting. But yeah, uh, get them back there. There you go. So that's that. Wow, quiet crowd tonight. I had like 30 questions last time.
I was gonna say one thing about the focus thing.
Yeah,
You can put you can do focus marks on stuff and um, kind of plan your focus pulls, but ultimately all our guys just memorize the lenses, and it
yeah,
becomes muscle memory. So we don't really stress about it because you pretty much just memorize the lens,
right. Yep.
and so you get really really fast at it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a whole different deal too. Like for most cam ops that have been with like Jesse and I for a while, like they're freaking talented. Like they can just do it by muscle memory. At you know, Nathan's really good at that. Uh, really good at focus pulling.
The rite of passage for that is 70 to 200.
Yeah, true, right?
And probably I would probably say 24 to 105. I know people diss on it, but as far as like the two lenses you really like start learning on, it's probably those.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially for handheld. Yeah.
We got Jacob Rose and Tristan. Hey Tristan.
Yay. All right. Next question is: would you choose a gimbal over a Steadicam? And I'm gonna add it. And why?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
why? Yeah.
And why?
Yeah. Yeah. I can come back to
I
you.
mean, I think
I got it.
Steadicams are a bit dated. I mean, they're cool and they're really great for maybe a remote shoot somewhere where you don't have power and you just can't bring all that extra stuff. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, you can chuck a Steadicam on your backpack and just take it with you, which is amazing. But
Yeah.
if you're shooting with something more than a DSLR, it's just so hard to work with.
No. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Um. Yeah, and it's just bulky. Being in our environment where we have cameras out in the crowd, things like that, it's just a little bit too much. The whole goal, and even for me, it's like I'm I'm okay with seeing production guys, cam ops in the shot every once in a while. Like I'm totally fine with that. But also I don't want it to be overbearing. Like I don't want to cut to, you know, a camera of the worship leader singing, and behind you see this huge Steadicam rig. So if there's a smaller gimbal, then that's fine there. But yeah, I'd choose the gimbal over Steadicam as well. Yeah.
Would you choose the traditional larger platform with the double handle or the pistol grip?
Oh, that's the hard part.
Or even the weirded crazy thing. So
Yeah, yeah. Um, no, that's. I guess it depends on what what I'm trying to get on stage. I think if it's on stage, it might be more. It might be a little bit easier for the two handle or the double. Yeah. Uh, Out in the crowd, you gotta use like a single pistol grip style. Yeah.
yeah, you would think. I know we've been working with the ring. We have a ring.
Yeah.
That's been awesome. I think it's a good balance of everything.
What are you guys using? Are you guys using the Movi or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like that
Yeah.
better
It's
than
small.
Ronin?
It doesn't look intimidating.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's an older movie. I think the newer gimbals obviously have some better tech, but it's a solid platform. So
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, Jacob Rose. What's up, Jacob? Miss you, buddy. I gotta have you out here too at some point. Uh, what do you think
but
of the
not
new
before
era
me.
here? What's that?
I said, but not before me.
Yeah. So, the new Airy broadcast cameras, I want to try them out so badly. I do. Gosh.
Now,
I was
what are your thoughts though? Because it's not full frame; it's Super 35.
Super 35. I
So, do you have any thoughts on that? Jacob's
Not
all about that
really.
full frame. So,
He is. That's true. Yeah, he is. I think it's all in how you use it, I guess. Um, for me, I'm more of a I, I I do like the film look, so Super 35 is always going to win for me. But um, it's again all in how you use it. I'm dancing around the question, I know, but I do like the fact that about the integration with fiber and how they're using that and putting that together. Versus right now the way we have to do things, especially for me with Vericams and having the separate fiber back, but everything's kind of like it's like get it working and it gets to a spot where it totally works and don't breathe, because it's still kind of like technically it feels like it's in beta mode still, like even the way Vericam and we're using DTS fiber boxes here, but or are going to be because we haven't started really doing fiber yet, but uh even like when I went over to elevation and stuff, like you could it just yeah. So having that flexibility, I think where it's built in fiber or better integrated fiber. So which was funny because they actually tested out the cameras with
mhm.
they tested out the cameras with the DTS boxes, which is funny enough. So let's see here. Any tips?
um, I
Oh, go ahead.
oh sorry, I was just gonna say like pre-COVID, I had a big project I was supposed to work on using just RE stuff,
Yeah.
and we were gonna use gosh, I'm trying to remember. We were gonna use the fiberback systems from I think it's not Fiberdyne. It's
Yeah, yeah. A
a really
multi-dyne.
popular brand. Thank you.
Multi-dyne? Yeah.
Yes, and
Yeah.
so they make all kinds of cool stuff, but they
Yeah.
they had like the first like 12G integrated Cat 5, like all the things that you would need to really power those systems. It kind of give you a broadcast look with
Yeah.
with a film camera essentially. So Ari, like props to Ari for having like the most integration for all systems.
Yeah.
And no one
No, that's
really
true.
talks about that kind of stuff because they only see it as a movie camera,
Yeah.
you know. But they have some
Yeah.
really good integration, and every manufacturer has some level of it. But
Yeah. No, they do it well. They do. I just
so I'm anxious to
yeah,
see what what this new broadcast one is like. They basically took all of that and just made it into a
put it in.
product.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
cannot wait
totally.
to get my hands on that.
Yeah. I just so expensive. So expensive. Like,
Also, we
dang
don't
it.
know when they're shipping, right?
No, not yet. No. I tried to call our integrators. I called Skylark. I said, hey, give me a quote. They're like, we don't. There's no information yet. I'm like, all
Yeah.
right. But even then, I think. Uh, any tips for switching 3 cams on stands to a more Bethel style of a one stand and other mobile?
I mean, follow a 45 and one on stage. That's really all you can do.
Yeah. Yeah. Get that loosen your head there. Get some movement in those sticks. Also talk to. Wow, I keep losing him. He's taking breaks. Hi. Is that on my end or your end?
I don't know. I
It's
just get
just weird.
disconnected.
That's weird. I'm having issues. It's usually really good, but I don't know why tonight it's not really good. Uh, so I'm actually doing all this. I forgot to tell you, I'm doing all this on a uh M1 13-inch MacBook Pro.
Oh, that's cool.
So
I'm using oh dude, I didn't tell you this. I got an A10 Mini Extreme ISO. That's what we're doing this call on right now.
nice.
I'm just using the
All the
webcam
buttons.
USB driver. Everyone loves to make fun of those buttons, but let me tell you, it's beautiful and it's fun.
Yeah, I probably if I had one, I probably wouldn't be making as much fun as. But that's a lot of buttons. It'd probably help me out right now. But
Honestly, it's really cool. Like the super source features are so like all the presets are really nice. It
like, do you
makes
get?
it makes
Is it
things a
just a
lot easier.
single super source on that? I haven't like really looked into it. I just saw the buttons and I haven't really. Uh,
I mean, you can do a regular 1ME super
right.
source.
Okay.
So a
Nice.
2-up with a background.
Nice. Oh, Weston. Sorry. Get back to your question too. Talk with your leadership as well. Just communicate with them. Show them examples of what you want to do and how. Show them Jesse's work. Show them my work. Um, this is what we kind of want to move to. This is what we want to flow into, and then talk to them about trying it out. And we actually, a lot of people don't know, like we didn't have any working at the time when we went handheld. We didn't have any working wireless, so everything was hardlined. So so just go for it. Yeah, hardline. Run it through your belt loop. And they even all the cam ops learned to basically wrangle the cable themselves as they were going around. There's a lot of times when they're like, "Hey, camera 5 needs a break. I gotta untangle myself." But yeah, just go for it, man. Go for it. Let's see here.
Hey, speaking of
Tristan,
wireless,
what's up, man?
so someone did ask about wireless.
Yeah, there you go.
I was able to get a couple of 750 4K. Yeah, it was the 4K Teradek 4K 750 LT or something. It's the
Yeah,
one
yeah.
that still does actual 4K.
Right.
But it's the camera back system, so it's supposed to go on the back of the camera.
Yeah.
So we've been putting those on the Komodos, and it just plugs in line with the battery.
Yeah. Those
So
are great.
super
Yeah, we got
slick,
those.
super easy. Yeah, so
Um,
I've really enjoyed it. One of the reasons why I went with it, which I'm actually gonna do probably a proper tutorial thing on it,
yeah.
but or a review. But I actually got so it has the built-in scanning, and it'll do like the frequency scanning and tell you where it's good and whatnot. But I actually went as far as set them up, put a spectrum analyzer on, and watched the entire band, and literally
Nice.
just measured its all of its channels
Yeah.
in both 20 megahertz and in 40 mode, and
Nice.
measured all the Wi-Fi in the building, so I know where it was operating at.
Where was yeah.
So that way I knew my range of where I could go without messing people up.
Nice. No, it's a
So
steady, like it's really good. I did just get a Vaxis unit, the 3000, the Storm 3000. So Michael was kind enough to send it over to demo. So we're gonna be checking that out. Um,
nice.
the we have had issues with our wireless, with our Teradek. We got the Bolt 1500 4Ks, I think. And we have them with those paddles that you can get. But the problem is right now we're in our
Mhm.
lobby and there's so much RF in the lobby because we have LED panels as well and the lighting. So it's been so tough. Dude, it's been tough. Like sending Tyler out every time we record. Hey, go check it. And then we finally get we'll get like one good set and then the next set we record is like, no, why? So
That's frustrating, man. Are yours in auto or do you have it in fixed?
we tried both. We did find it better in fixed. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it really doesn't matter. It's so weird. I think it's just because it's a 40 by 40 foot lobby that I mean it goes like gosh 80 feet I think in height, but it's like we're condensing a whole stage and LED wall into this like tiny 40 by 40 area, and so like all that RF is just like bouncing off the wall, competing again with like internet and stuff that the routers and and hotspots and
Yeah,
stuff. So, eh,
like having come all over again, huh?
yes, but every single month. Yeah, Jeff, I would go as far as getting a, if you don't have a unit with a spectrum analyzer on it. Actually, Vaxis sells a really good analyzer that actually does Teradek too. I think, right? I think I remember Drake telling me about
They
it.
do. So I haven't checked for like a firmware update on, or not firmware, but a like a library update for that scanner. So it didn't have my particular units in there, but I'm sure it's probably an update away. But it is a really cool scanning tool.
Yeah, nice. Uh, Pistol grip with the vest. I had. That sounds like a pretty good idea. Actually, I don't know. Maybe gonna have to figure out the way to do that arm thing if it's like the vest that has that arm that comes around. It's even then. It depends. Again, like you're doing if you're going through crowds, that's definitely a big no. How much does typical cam weigh on your shoulder at Bethel? With battery pack and all hookup. So first things first, uh, we don't shoulder mount anything, or I don't know. When I was there, we never shoulder mounted anything. It's all in the forearms. I don't know what's the weight of the Komodos now. With the, it's definitely less than. Well, I don't know. Okay, so here, let me ask you this: with the Komodos and the Anton and the wireless unit and a 70 to 200, is it equal or less than still than the Ursa Mini Pros that we had weight wise?
I mean, it would depend. One of the interesting things is the RF 7200 is almost a pound lighter. It's significantly lighter
Oh yeah,
than the version than the
right,
EF
the
version.
EF version.
So that's kind of surprising. I would say it's probably close to equal.
Nice.
Kind of depends. It's
Right.
potentially
Yeah.
even slightly lighter.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Those Ursas are
Yeah.
chunky.
They're chunky. Yeah. Uh.
And for the record, I just pulled out all the old shoulder rig mounting stuff for the Ursas and a couple eyepieces so we could do the graduation.
Nice.
And
Nice.
it was pretty great because all the guys are like, "We've never used an eyepiece before."
Oh, that's so good.
So that was fun.
That's
I said, "Just
awesome.
pretend like you're on the news, shooting for
Right.
the
Yeah.
news."
Just pretend like you're on the news. Put your right eye up to it and
Yeah, I was talking to Jared about it too, and you know, it was the first time most of them had like experienced. You put it on your shoulder, you can support it so much better, and
right.
it really just helps tremendously. Which I honestly think is a fantastic way to do pit. So if you're doing a pit cam look and you're not on like a gimbal, you're just doing a normal pit cam. It's
Well,
honestly the best way to do it.
that's how Luke gets such
But
amazing shots.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, absolutely. 70 to 200 on a shoulder mount
Yeah.
in the pit. That's how you get those hero shots that are just epic. But it's funny because you're holding it, and like next thing you know, the biggest issue you have is whipping the camera too fast and getting dizzy because you're looking in one eye and then you're also looking out here. But then the horizon, it starts getting tippy because you're not used to supporting it on your elbow. So your shoulder starts
Right.
dropping and starts leaning. And
Oh, that's too funny.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Luke Manwaring. You guys got to look him up. Yeah, if you haven't, he's done amazing stuff. Good friend of ours, and he still works with Jessie a lot. I'd like to bring him out here, but I think we're a little bit too gospel for him. No, he's good enough where he'd definitely come through. Let's see here. Not a question. Just say handheld is greater than gimbals. That's great. Yes. Oh, that's great. Caesar Perez says, Jessie, come hang with us in San Diego. Jessie gets an
Caesar.
invite?
Hey,
What about me? I want to go to San Diego too.
Hollyland. Which Hollyland wireless unit are you looking at?
Oh yeah, there you go.
So
Yeah.
Hollyland, I talked to them quite a bit. They have some great stuff and some not so great stuff. They make a unit, dude. They make a unit that's 4 wireless units, transmitters, and then a single receiver. And so
Oh,
the
interesting.
receiver is just a receiver for each one
Yeah.
and has SDI and HDMI out. It's really a slick setup. It's 0.008 seconds of latency, so it's a little bit more
A
than
little bit. But
like I think than a Teradek, but it's so small. But I believe anyway that system's really cool.
is
I
it
mean,
because I've heard that their lower tier ones are just really, really bad at latency. So
mhm.
it's like you got to get the higher versions of their product. Yeah, I've never used them, but sure I've read
Yeah, in
on
fact,
the internet.
so Caesar says it's the 400, and I can't. It's just their model numbers are kind of weird.
Right.
I have something in the other room. It technically is a wireless video, but it's really for like directors monitoring.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what it's actually good for. So its latency is not good at all, but it has some really cool features, and I think it supports like 10 different concurrent viewers on it on one device.
Nice,
So it's like its own access point with its own remote monitoring, which is
nice,
pretty cool.
nice. How are you recording? Oh wait, nope, not that one. Let me just answer that one. How are you all recording your multiviewers, video and audio? Um, how are you guys doing it now, Jesse?
Probably the most asked question that we
I
ever
know, right?
get.
Uh huh. Let's see. Yeah, how you doing it, Jesse? You want to that one?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we take a comm signal out from our comms and plug it into an ATEM mixer uh, that we just that's how we get the analog XLR in,
The audio.
and then
Yeah.
we take our program in as well. So or our multi from another switcher goes into that unit,
Right.
and that's how
Has
we
program.
can manually adjust the program audio and the comm volume. Um, but ClearComm or any other comm system always has voltage, so you just have to make sure you have either a resistor or a little box that kind of strips the voltage. And if you buy a box, it'll strip voltage and do an impedance match, so it'll bring it up to a mic level or line level,
Yeah,
and
I
then you're
remember
good to
seeing
go.
those boxes. I think we were just about getting it going before I left. Yeah. Yeah, those are cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But technically the trick is to DA or get a second signal out from your multi-view and either go into a switcher or you can go into capture cards on your computer. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, so hey, what do you think of the Zcam E2X? You know what? I actually, uh, I think Jared did he buy an E2 or I know Jared just bought
He
one.
rented one of the entry level ones. I can't remember which model specifically. Um, so I have been studying the Zcams quite a bit lately, and in fact, I just talked to their engineer, one of their service guys. I don't know what title to give him, but he's going to send me one to demo, and
Nice.
I'm pretty excited about it. The E2 line is probably the most exciting of the Zcams. They're essentially a high end. They're a Sony sensor without the Sony price. So
That's interesting.
to
Yeah.
me, that's the most exciting. Yeah, it's the most exciting
Yeah.
thing about them. You can see the color difference too. You can tell
Right. Yeah.
Sony has a different look. Um, but they're really good sensors, and so like one of the things to consider, like the so we have Komodos, right? Which any red camera cinema grade sensor has to be calibrated in every environment. So every shoot and every environmental changes how that sensor is going to respond or output the image quality that it outputs. So you
Right.
have to calibrate quite a bit. These guys, these are much different. Like it's a completely different style sensor,
Interesting.
and it's really nice. But I just said, hey man, like, can I leave these on 24 hours a day for years and will they work? And he's like, oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, nice.
So kind of excited about that because, like we'll do a spy cam or something in a room, and sometimes you want to be able to use that shot. Like it's static, but sometimes you just want to be able to go wide and
Right.
not
Yeah.
have to worry about it.
Totally.
And so I was like, man, it would be really cool to have one that was actually usable in your broadcast. And so I think that's what piques my interest about it.
Right. Yeah.
The biggest bummer about it, like they have a raw workflow, they have a really cool like controls, and they have some cool software to control a bunch of them together.
Nice.
And they have like a really neat eyepiece and a really neat variable ND that you can pop on them. But most of their cameras are MFT, which is kind of a bummer.
Oh yeah.
And I
That
can't
is a bummer.
remember. I think do they make an EF model now? I remember. But the other thing I'm having a hard time with is the way that they do 4K. So they have a 6K camera, and it'll do 6K and 4K and all that stuff internal. But getting 4K out, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that the only way to get 4K out is through their network protocol.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Interesting.
not through SDI. So I could be wrong.
It's
'cause they make
still
more
like
than
a
one
lot of
version.
people don't know. Like 4K is still a young baby in the production world.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody thinks like, oh yeah, 4K. You can start broadcasting in 4K and all this stuff. And yes, you can, but there's still a lot of devices that aren't compatible or even that can work with it for a broadcast. Unless you're
Oh, they have PL and EF. So they do on the E2
oh
line.
nice,
They do have an EF mount.
nice,
That's good. Okay, cool. I wasn't sure.
yeah. There's a guy that helps us out every once in a while here at Transformation. It used to be at Victory Church, and he's got a whole Z cam set up. Looks pretty good. It's pretty good. I do like the look of it.
One of the things that's really cool about the Zcam, so just think like what we're doing this conversation right here. I'm having to loop through my my ATEM Mini,
Right.
and I'm on a 6K pocket. It's HDMI out. It's doing all these things. The cool thing is the Zcam the new one has the USB-C connector. You can plug it straight into your computer, and it works as a webcam, and it looks amazing. So it's a direct attach.
Yeah. Direct
Ready to
attachment.
go
Yeah.
webcam, no drivers, no software, and because of that,
That's cool.
you could easily run that through like OBS or any other streaming software, and it'll integrate with the camera controls. So you now
That's
have
cool.
full camera control
That
of
is
your
really cool.
camera through your streaming software, and which is a really big deal because if you're a
Yeah.
remote producer, like some of the stuff we do, you can now control the camera remotely for your clients without having to be in the
That's
room.
cool.
So it's it's something that has my attention for sure.
Nice. Oh man.
Jake.
It's getting late.
Shannon
for me
says,
here.
"Hold my beer." Calibration.
Yeah, I saw that. I just saw that now. Oh, that's great. Tristan, I saw some churches that went wireless iPhone rigs during the closures. Any words of wisdom for churches considering that direction? Make sure you got good audio, man. iPhones for a lot of people, an iPhone it's a decent workflow for smaller churches or even medium-sized churches. Obviously, when you're in the medium-sized church, kind of you probably want to get into that like conversation of hey, we should probably actually invest in some gear. But if you're just doing an iPhone, if you got good audio, good lighting is what you need.
I don't know. I'm always curious about what people have set up for that.
Right.
Got to have a really good router, good Wi-Fi. I'm assuming it's going wireless. Remember, I talked to the owner of the guy who made the
Switcher
what's the
software?
iPad Switcher Studio. There it is.
Yeah, Switcher Studio. Yeah.
At the beginning of the pandemic, they had their newest version release. Really amazing tool. Probably one of the most least talked about but most valuable tools for churches is Switcher Studio. He does it for his church. So what's cool about him is he actually does it because he wants to serve his church. But they do a lot of sporting events and they cover a lot of different things.
Wow.
But they're 100% iOS, and they have some really cool workflows for that. So if you're not
That's
using
cool.
Switcher Studio, I would definitely consider it. I think it's really, really powerful.
Yeah. No, yeah. Kind of.
And they're beautiful, and they build it for the church in mind. So
yes. Goes into the next question a little bit. Software where you're using streaming that allows interaction similar to Zoom. I said that so fast. So what I'm using here is Ecamm Live. But
Yep.
there's tons of different ones out there. We just talked about Switcher Studio. Sling makes one similar to that. OBS.
I just got targeted on an ad on a
OBS.
new one that I want to check out. FYI, you can get 1080 on Zoom if you have a corporate account, but they have to turn it on manually for each event, and you have to schedule your event up to 3 months ahead of time.
I know.
Just really stupid.
I was looking into that.
Unless you're someone really famous.
What's his name?
It's a real pain.
Office Hours, Alex Lindsay. I watch him still almost every day.
I was thinking about Tony Robbins.
Oh, Tony Robbins. But I don't know what connections he's got, but Alex Lindsay's like he's been on the cutting edge with next to Zoom. I guess he's one of their biggest testers. So he's been doing 1080 for a while now, like every day. But yeah, I was like, man. Fuji or Canon? Ooh, Iron coming in hot. I think Fuji makes a crispier glass. I do. The Canon photography stuff is really good. The L series is really sharp. The Cine series are actually, I gotta hand it to them. They really did well with that one.
Oh man! So I was just talking today. The RF series of Canon glass is, in my opinion, cine grade glass. It's really incredible. Yeah.
Wow.
Probably there's been few lenses that have been as inspiring, but like a 50 Zeiss is super clear, right? It looks really amazing. You take if you remember the Sigma Art 50 to 100, it has that same like weird it's almost 3D ish.
Right.
And I was playing with the Jacob's recommendation, actually. Shout out to Jacob. The 28 to 70, not the 24, but the 28, much bigger lens, RF, extremely heavy, but it literally is so clear. It is so nice. Literally like looking at 3D video.
Nice.
Like you're just kind of mesmerized by it. You're like, wow, it's amazing.
What's
like
happening?
Your talent is literally floating. It's really incredible.
Oh, that's cool.
And Jacob. So vMix is super expensive. That's my biggest thing. So I like Ecamm for its functionality. It's really user friendly and beautiful and simple. I have been diving into vMix quite a bit lately. Really powerful. That UI could use a serious upgrade.
Yeah, that's true.
But it does have the best remote caller feature, and it does have the most control. And so this call right now that we're having, you can control the bandwidth of the other person, and you can help the call out while you're on the call.
Oh, you're on the call. That's cool.
So you can raise and lower it as needed. You can set it to auto, of course, but if you wanted manual control, you could have manual control.
Nice. Have you?
vMix is not 60. It's like $700 to get the full package.
Yeah, if you want the full thing, the bottom line version bottom tier version, $60. Yeah, Skycam. We actually at Bethel we did the Dactyl Pro for a little bit, and it worked out really well. I actually have a Dactyl Pro that's going to be going into our arena here at Transformation.
That'll be great.
Yeah, We got that
You know,
with
we're selling. So through Octane, we're installing 2 tracks.
nice.
Actually,
Wait,
they're
is that
installing the tracks at 2 different locations.
the Defy one? The Defy
Hmm.
track? Yeah.
I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about talking to him about that too. I'm talking to Drew about that because the way our arena is going to be set up now, um, I want like another track system, a sky track system. So I'll have the dolly, and then the track system. The track system's mainly for a certain shot that I want that I can't get unless I have. So yeah, and then the Sky Furio dolly, the Furio Sky dolly from Ross is just ridiculously pricey. So that's something that I'm like, we can't do it. But yeah. Bruce says, "What up, Jessie?"
That's my man.
Yeah. Oh, okay, Jacob. I want to so badly.
What, the Fuji with Black Pro Mist?
Black Promage. Yeah, I want to so badly.
So when I was doing the corporate stuff, that's what I was using the panties, Verilight and the Evas
Yeah,
with Fuji, and I really loved the Fuji lenses. I just want to throw that out there. I thought it was
yeah.
really amazing. I think at the end of the day, I usually come back to Canon because, for one reason or another, but I've always ended up landing on Canon.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah. Um, it would be interesting to see if Fujinon actually made a good like handheld, like a small version, so we could put on it like an EF version or something. you know, that would be very interesting. But yeah, the man, I'm the only way I can do that here because I have all Fujinon glass except for our handhelds. But I would have to get matte boxes for each camera, and I'm actually debating on renting a couple of them for a deal that we're gonna do soon. But man, that would look so nice. Yeah.
Do you have the
So
which Fuji lenses? Which ones do you have?
we got the Cabrillo series. Um, so the Z Cabrillo MK. I think it's the MK series. So, but yeah, they're really cool.
Aren't those? Isn't that particular line like super new?
I don't know. It seems like it would be. The only other at the time or now, really, the only other church I knew that had it was Elevation. Ugh, water. Reese is asking Jesse, where do you get your background?
I could tell you, but yeah, what's cool about this background actually is it's actually 3D. It's not like a printed
Yeah, it's
thing.
a full 3D
So
one,
like
right? Yeah,
reflections and stuff are actually real.
that's cool.
The lighting is not dialed. I just sat down in a hurry.
Nice.
But it's just an Amazon buy. They're plastic, so they're not really very good for acoustics. But they make a whole bunch of 3D textures, and they're quite popular. I'll send the link.
Nice. Yeah. Oh man. Cool. Any last questions, everybody? Gonna wrap it up here soon. Been great chatting with you, Jesse. This is like the first time we've actually talked in a long time, which is horrible. I'm sorry. It's my fault.
Yeah, socially anyway.
I know. Oh man. Yeah. Gotta get together more. Miss you, buddy.
It's all right, Chad. I cry when no one's looking.
Oh, that's great. I gotta figure out a time. We gotta get you up here too. Come by. So
I want to do a little church tour.
yeah, that would be great.
Summertime, man. This is my time.
I like to tell people I'm still homeless because we're still running off of a fly pack in an office that goes with lines going out to the lobby. Yeah. So hopefully,
have you gotten your Ross stuff yet, or is it still on order?
It's in the warehouse in Oklahoma City. It's like sitting there.
Okay.
They put. We're kind of debating on whether to go with swap it back out for the Ultrix acuities instead of just the Ultrix with the acuities. So, but yeah, they've been building the racks and they've been posting some stuff. So, if you guys ever want to see some BTS stuff, Skylark, anytime they post something about racks and it's in their office, in their lobby, those racks are for transformation. But yeah, it's interesting. I'm trying to get right now the fly pack we're running Constellation, the 40x40. But I'm trying now that the that Ultrix Carbonite came out now. I'm like it'd be nice to start to get used to the framework of Ross, you know. So that way when we actually get everything, I mean, they come down for a full week to come and train you when you do an install like this. So, but I, you know me, I always want to be ahead of the curve there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, they make great hardware. I think I'm probably more inspired by the.
sorry, I just saw
acute-
this comment here. My wife is saying, "Can you do the dishes now?"
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was funny. That was really
great.
funny.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we have you come up. Cool, man. Ryan, can I come in and help with the install? Having a little gear envy over here. Oh man. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, hit me up, man. I'll have you come down. Yeah, it's interesting place to be at. God's doing some crazy stuff here that I've never thought in my lifetime I'd be able to be a part of, but it's pretty cool. And what made the decision a lot, it was still a hard decision, but what made it a lot easier was knowing that I'd leave Bethel video production in good hands. And the things you've been doing, Jesse, I really appreciate it, man. Really,
Thanks.
I
Are the birds
love
telling you
watching.
things?
I love watching and being like, yes, yes, yes. Like, you know, we're always family anyway, but still.
Yep.
So,
Thank you.
oh man, awesome guys. Thanks so much. My wife said, we love you, Jesse. So, yeah, thanks so much, guys. And, see you guys next time. Hopefully next week sometime. I got it's pretty crazy things I have to do for the next 2 weeks. Honestly, it's pretty crazy, but I looked at Tyler. So some of you that don't know, Tyler came up with me as my video engineer from Bethel as well. And I looked at him, I'm like, Tyler, we're back. And just because we were so used to doing like the crazy shoot days from 8 a.m. to 6, 7 p.m., and doing multiple campuses, doing multiple things. And that's happening this week and next week. And so it's like, I'm like, yay, I feel like I'm back home in Reading. So yeah, Bethel.
Oh man.
So it's one of those crazy weeks. But cool, everybody. Thank you so much. Yeah. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.